Simulacra and Simulation by Jean Baudrillard, Summary and Review. Jean Baudrillard's Simulacra and Simulation is a seminal work in postmodern thought, exploring the relationship between reality and its representation in a world dominated by media and technology. He argues that we live in a hyperreal, where simulations have replaced reality, blurring the lines between the two. Here's a breakdown of the book's key concepts and arguments. 1. The order of simulacra. Baudrillard begins by tracing the history of representation, starting with the reflection stage, where signs faithfully reflect reality. This is followed by the mask stage, where signs distort reality but still maintain a connection to it. In the dissimulation stage, signs no longer refer to anything real, but rather to other signs, creating a self-referential system. Finally, we reach the simulacrum stage, where signs have become detached from any grounding in reality and exist as self-sufficient entities. These simulacra are copies without originals, creating a hyperreal where the distinction between real and simulated is impossible. 2. The hyperreal. The hyperreal is a state where the distinction between reality and simulation has collapsed. It is a world of simulations, where signs are no longer linked to any original referent. Baudrillard argues that the media, advertising, and consumer culture contribute to the creation of the hyperreal by constantly bombarding us with images and representations that are detached from reality. He uses examples like Disneyland, which he describes as a perfect simulation of a non-existent place, to illustrate how the hyperreal creates a fabricated reality that is more real than reality itself. 3. The death of the real. Baudrillard argues that the proliferation of simulacra has led to the death of the real. In the hyperreal, reality is no longer a stable concept, and the distinction between the real and the simulated has become meaningless. This leads to a sense of disorientation and alienation, as we are constantly bombarded with images and representations that are divorced from any grounding in reality. 4. The Gulf War did not take place. This famous line from the book exemplifies Baudrillard's argument about the hyperreal. He argues that the Gulf War was a media spectacle, a simulation that was more real than the actual event. The media's coverage of the war, with its emphasis on images and narratives, created a hyperreal experience that was divorced from the actual reality of the conflict. 5. The end of history. Baudrillard argues that the hyperreal marks the end of history. He sees the hyperreal as a state of perpetual repetition, where there is no possibility of progress or change. The hyperreal is a closed system, where all possibilities have already been exhausted. 6. The role of technology. Baudrillard sees technology as a key driver of the hyperreal. He argues that technology allows for the creation of simulations that are increasingly indistinguishable from reality. This leads to a situation where we are constantly bombarded with images and representations that are detached from any grounding in reality. 7. The implications of the hyperreal. Baudrillard's work has had a significant impact on contemporary thought, raising important questions about the nature of reality in a world dominated by media and technology. His work has been influential in fields such as sociology, cultural studies, and media theory. In conclusion, Simulacra and Simulation is a complex and challenging work that offers a powerful critique of the contemporary world. Baudrillard's analysis of the hyperreal provides a valuable framework for understanding the relationship between reality and representation in a world dominated by media and technology. Note, this is a summary, but it is not exhaustive. For a deeper understanding of the book, it is recommended to read the full text. Baudrillard's concept of the hyperreal finds a chillingly accurate reflection in modern social media and digital technology. Here's how. 1. Simulated reality. Social media platforms are built on the foundation of presenting curated, idealized versions of ourselves. We meticulously craft our online personas, carefully selecting photos, crafting witty captions, and engaging in activities that project a desirable image. This curated reality often bears little resemblance to our offline lives, creating a hyperreal experience. 2. The blur between real and simulated. The lines between real and simulated become increasingly blurred in the digital realm. We consume a constant stream of images, videos, and stories through social media, often blurring the distinction between what's authentic and what's staged. This constant bombardment of hyperreal content can lead to a sense of disorientation and a difficulty in discerning what is real. 3. The death of the real. The hyperreal nature of social media can contribute to the death of the real by eroding our sense of authenticity and grounding in reality. We become obsessed with achieving a perfect online persona, often at the expense of our genuine selves. This pursuit of an idealized online identity can lead to feelings of inadequacy and anxiety, as we constantly compare ourselves to the carefully curated lives of others. 4. The self as a commodity. Social media platforms are designed to monetize our attention and data. This leads to a commodification of the self, where our online presence becomes a product to be marketed and consumed. We become performers in a digital marketplace, constantly striving to optimize our online personas for maximum engagement and profit. 5. The echo chamber effect. Social media algorithms often create echo chambers, where users are only exposed to information and perspectives that align with their existing beliefs. This can further contribute to the hyperreal by reinforcing pre-existing biases and limiting exposure to diverse viewpoints. 6. The rise of fake news and disinformation. The hyperreal nature of social media creates fertile ground for the spread of fake news and disinformation. The ease with which information can be manipulated and disseminated online makes it difficult to discern truth from fiction. This can lead to a breakdown of trust in institutions and a sense of societal fragmentation. 7. The impact on identity and self-perception. The constant exposure to hyperreal content on social media can have a profound impact on our identity and self-perception. We become increasingly reliant on external validation and approval, seeking affirmation through likes, comments, and followers. This can lead to feelings of insecurity, inadequacy, and a distorted sense of self-worth. In conclusion, Baudrillard's concept of the hyperreal provides a powerful lens through which to examine the impact of modern social media and digital technology on our lives. The blurring of reality and simulation, the commodification of the self, and the erosion of authenticity are all hallmarks of the hyperreal, and they raise profound questions about the nature of our existence in a digital age. Here are some examples of how the hyperreal has manifested in contemporary culture and society, drawing on Baudrillard's concepts. 1. Social media and the perfect life. Simulacra. Social media platforms are filled with carefully curated images and narratives that present a perfect version of reality. These images are often heavily edited, filtered, and staged, creating a hyper-real version of life that is often unattainable. Hyperreality. The constant exposure to these idealized representations can lead to feelings of inadequacy and a distorted perception of reality. People may begin to believe that the lives they see online are the norm, creating a sense of dissatisfaction with their own lives. 2. Reality TV and the blurring of lines. Simulacra. Reality TV shows often present a fabricated version of reality, with storylines manipulated and events staged for entertainment purposes. These shows blur the lines between reality and fiction, creating a hyper-real world that is both entertaining and unsettling. Hyperreality. Reality TV can lead to a desensitization to the real world, as viewers become accustomed to seeing staged and manipulated events. It can also create a sense of voyeurism and a desire to be part of the spectacle. 3. Virtual worlds and the escape from reality. Simulacra. Online games and virtual worlds offer a simulated experience that can be more appealing than real life. These virtual environments allow users to create avatars and identities that are free from the constraints of the real world. Hyperreality. The immersive nature of virtual worlds can lead to a blurring of the lines between the real and the virtual. Some individuals may find it difficult to distinguish between their online and offline lives, leading to a sense of detachment from reality. 4. The influencer economy and authenticity. Simulacra. Influencers often present a carefully curated version of themselves, promoting products and lifestyles that are often unattainable. They create a hyperreal persona that is designed to attract followers and generate revenue. Hyperreality. The rise of the influencer economy has led to a questioning of authenticity and a blurring of the lines between advertising and genuine content. It can be difficult to distinguish between genuine recommendations and paid endorsements, creating a sense of distrust and cynicism. 5. The fake news phenomenon and the erosion of trust. Simulacra. The spread of misinformation and disinformation online has created a hyper-real world where truth is often subjective and malleable. The ease with which false information can be disseminated has eroded trust in traditional sources of news and information. Hyperreality. The proliferation of fake news has created a sense of uncertainty and confusion about the world around us. It has made it difficult to discern fact from fiction, leading to a sense of distrust and alienation. These are just a few examples of how the hyperreal has manifested in contemporary culture and society. Baudrillard's ideas continue to be relevant today, as we navigate a world increasingly dominated by media, technology, and simulations. Jean Baudrillard's Simulacra and Simulation is a dense, challenging, and ultimately rewarding read. It's a book that demands active engagement, forcing the reader to confront uncomfortable truths about the nature of reality in a world saturated with media and technology. Strengths. Provocative and insightful, Baudrillard's analysis of the hyperreal is both insightful and unsettling. He masterfully exposes the ways in which simulations have replaced reality, creating a world where signs are divorced from their reference. His arguments are thought-provoking and challenge our assumptions about the world around us. Timeless relevance. Despite being written in the 1980s, Simulacra and Simulation remains remarkably relevant today. The book's exploration of the impact of media, technology, and consumer culture on our understanding of reality resonates deeply in our increasingly digital age. Compelling examples. Baudrillard uses vivid and memorable examples to illustrate his points, from Disneyland to the Gulf War. These examples help to ground his abstract arguments in the real world, making them more accessible and relatable. Weaknesses. Difficult and abstract. The book's dense prose and abstract concepts can be challenging for some readers. Baudrillard's writing style is often convoluted and requires careful attention to detail. Pessimistic outlook. Baudrillard's analysis of the hyperreal is inherently pessimistic, suggesting that we are trapped in a world of simulations with no escape. This bleak outlook can be disheartening for some readers. Lack of concrete solutions. While Baudrillard provides a powerful critique of the hyperreal, he offers few concrete solutions for navigating this new reality. This leaves readers with a sense of unease and uncertainty about the future. Overall, despite its challenges, Simulacra and Simulation is a groundbreaking work that continues to influence contemporary thought. It's a book that demands to be read and reread, offering a unique and unsettling perspective on the nature of reality in a world increasingly dominated by simulations. Recommendation. This book is recommended for readers interested in postmodern thought, media theory, and the impact of technology on society. It's a challenging but rewarding read that will force you to question your assumptions about the world around you. For a deeper understanding, it's helpful to read Simulacra and Simulation alongside other works by Baudrillard, such as America and the Gulf War Did Not Take Place. Engaging in discussions and debates with others who have read the book can enhance your understanding of its concepts and arguments.